If you are a fan of Formula One, you might have heard pundits and commentators using the term racecraft. For example, you might have heard, Lewis Hamilton's racecraft is unparalleled among Formula One greats. In this video, we will break down what is racecraft and how the term applies to F1. Let's get started. Racecraft is essentially the sum of a driver's overall racing ability. It can be broken down into several components, just like in any other sport. For example, a basketball player's overall competence can be broken down at a high level into the following categories: shooting, passing, rebounding, and free throw percentage. Similarly, Formula One drivers are generally measured using the following 5 categories: pace, overtaking ability, car setup, fuel management, and tire management. Let's look at each category in detail. Pace refers to how fast a driver is on track and can be broken down into qualifying pace and race pace. Qualifying pace refers to one-lap pace, the ability to get that perfect lap, and race pace refers to the best overall race time. The point to note here is that qualifying pace does not necessarily translate to race pace. For example, Valtteri Bottas during his 5 seasons at Mercedes had 20 pole positions but only won 10 Grand Prix. His teammate Lewis Hamilton during the same period had 43 pole positions but managed to win 50 races. Knowing these numbers, we can see that Lewis ranks higher in both qualifying pace and race pace. But what is truly remarkable is his race pace. He had more race wins than pole positions, when his teammate only managed 10 wins even though he started on pole 20 times. The second category is overtaking ability. The ability and the sense to overtake by finding the best racing lines is key to success in Formula One. Some drivers naturally have a higher ability to overtake. A good example is Daniel Ricciardo, who was famous for his overtaking skills, both at Red Bull and with McLaren. When he was with McLaren, he struggled in the pace category, but still managed some impressive overtakes during his 2-year stint with the team. In this category, we can also include a driver's ability to defend, the ability to make it difficult for another driver to overtake. For example, as fans, we can see that some drivers like Fernando Alonso and George Russell are better at defending than others who give up their position more easily. The third category is car setup. Being able to set up the car correctly is important for a racing driver and is a key element of racecraft. This doesn't necessarily mean that the driver needs to know all the mechanical and technical elements of the car and what needs to be changed. However, a driver needs to understand how the car feels and whether it suits his driving style or not. Drivers need to be able to feel the car and communicate to their mechanics what changes need to be made. This ability to communicate is a key skill which F1 drivers need. In 2022, many drivers struggled with the setup. Lewis Hamilton, early in the 2022 season, was struggling with the setup of his car. The setup issues sometimes even caused him physical pain when he was struggling with porpoising. Daniel Ricciardo was the worst on the grid when it came to setup. His issues in getting the car set up properly to suit his driving style ultimately caused him to lose his seat at McLaren. The fourth category is fuel management. Formula One cars are fueled with as little fuel as possible to complete the race. This is done to keep the weight of the car as low as possible. Every 10 kilograms of fuel weight is estimated to add 1/10 of a second per lap. This is why you see lap times go down as the race progresses, since fuel weight is reducing throughout the race. Drivers are known to use techniques such as short shifting and lift and coast to save fuel in the event that the car is underfueled. Some masters of the short shifting technique are Kimi Räikkönen and Fernando Alonso. The last category is tire management. This skill involves getting maximum performance of the tires during the race. During a dry race, all drivers are required to use 2 different compound of tires and make minimum 1 pit stop. Beyond this 1 stop, the race comes down to tire management. Some drivers naturally have a better ability to maintain great pace and extend the life of a tire. Red Bull drivers Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen are incredible in tire management. You will often see them getting 5 to sometimes as many as 15 laps more out of the same compound of tire when compared to their competitors. This is one of the key reasons that Red Bull dominated in the 2022 season. In summary, racecraft is a term used to measure a driver's overall competence and can be broken down into the following key components: pace, overtaking ability, car setup, fuel management, and tire management. So when you hear a statement like, Lewis Hamilton's racecraft is unparalleled among F1 greats, what this means is that he ranks highly in all the categories we discussed compared to his compatriots. Hope this video helped you learn about Formula One racecraft. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and consider subscribing to the channel for more great Formula One content.